Been a minute, but I'm back on the road. My last trip was in April 2021 and that was to Jordan. It is now the 4th of December 2021 and I'm currently en route to New Delhi. Whilst in India, I'm going to be doing a tour of the Golden Triangle, which is New Delhi, Jaipur and Agra. However, I'm also going to be touring a bit of Rajasthan, which is Jaisalmer and Jodhpur. And straight after that, I shall be going back home, Bangladesh, Sylhet, after 7 years. So I'm very excited for that. Just touched down after a 6-hour flight, bro. That was the best flight of my life. I was only awake for food and slept through it like a babe. I am so exhausted. It literally took 2 hours in the immigration queue for absolutely no reason. Anyways, I'm finally through. Now I'm gonna be catching a taxi to my hotel. So check-in's not for another 5 hours, so I thought, Bonnet, let me start my tourism, put my bags and that away, and now I'm off to Qutub-e-Minar. Qutub-Minar is the highest tower in India. It was made back in 1193 and it was built to celebrate Muslim dominance in Delhi after the defeat of Delhi's last Hindu ruler. So this entire compound used to be a masjid, and there you had the massive mimbar. When you look at the details of the architecture, it will truly take your breath away, subhanAllah. Now that I've explored Qutub-e-Minar, it's now time to go to the Red Fort. I don't know why I find it so amusing, but in India you can now get tuk-tuks on Uber. Like, I call this on Uber. And now, here. So I got to the Red Fort. It's closed today, so can't do that because tomorrow heading out to Agra, and then I come to Jama Masjid and it's got scaffolding on it. The biggest mosque in India. Apologies for the messy room tour because yeah, I didn't bother. I was that tired. It's nothing special, but everything's clean and I can't complain because it was really cheap. It was like £20 and I'm here for less than 12 hours. On that note, it's time to go eat. I came across Kareem's, which is a very old and famous restaurant. It dates back to the Mughal era. I ordered mutton biryani and sheikh kebab, and the mutton biryani was nice, but the kebab was special. That melted like butter in my mouth. I've never had kebab like that before. I didn't even know kebab can taste like that. In the midst of preparing for the journey, I forgot to make a video. But yeah, alhamdulillah, I just set off from New Delhi to Agra to see Taj Mahal. And one thing I've recognized already is that it is ridiculously cheap to travel in and around India. The distance from New Delhi to Agra is like 250 kilometers. A train ticket would cost like £5. I saw loads going for like £5. And if you wanted to catch an Uber or a taxi, even then it's like £30. An Uber from East London to West London would cost about £50. That's ridiculous value. Imagine this is just a gate. When you see the gates of Taj Mahal, they look like entire mausoleums and mosques itself. But that's just the gate to enter Taj Mahal. When I saw that, I knew, yeah, I was in for a special one. Subhanallah, I cannot explain how beautiful it is in real life. It was made by the king at the time, Shah Jahan, for his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. So basically, it's like the most extravagant love letter you'll ever see. And the man did not cheap out on anything. If you pay attention to the detail, nothing is painted. They're all like different materials, all gems, subhanAllah. I love how in the details you can see words of Allah. So it would have ayat from Surah Yasin, Surah Fajr, and yeah, it was just marvelous. Like, I don't think I can use any other word to describe it apart from marvelous. The materials used were the highest quality of the time, and they were transported from all regions. Like, they even got materials from Yemen. Do you know how far Yemen is from India? But the whole Taj Mahal is made out of pure white marble, and wow, like, it just looks so marvelous. And then when you look at the details, the intricacies, the symmetry, the materials used, the craftsmanship, they didn't miss a single step. And what I don't get is that they done this in the 1600s. It would be an impossible task to do that right now, let alone all those centuries back, without the technology we have today. Taj Mahal is truly a wonder of the world, and it generally became better looking with every new angle I saw. And then I went to Agra Fort, which is a fortress for all the Mughal kings during their dynasty. There's so much history. I cannot do the Agra Fort justice. But what I did want to mention is that Shah Jahan got put into house arrest by his own son, Aurangzeb. So for the last 8 years of his living, he was put in his section, and he was not able to leave there for the last 8 years of his life. The public hated him because he took a lot of public money to make the Taj Mahal, and of course that's draining public resources for what they can use on better things. So Aurangzeb, the rightful ruler, he sentenced his own dad to jail. But of course, being what he is, he still had the best of service at home, so there's nothing to worry about. He was fine. Just a bit heartbroken from Mumtaz Mahal dying. And then my driver took me to a restaurant to eat, and I had a Shahi Thali, and it was amazing. The dal was out of this world. Wow. The food in India is so good that as a non-vegetable, I hate vegetables, just context. And I was scoffing down the dal and the naan. Indian food out of this world. Lovely sunny day in Agra. So I've finished with all my touristy stuff for Agra. So now I'm about to just check in at my hotel, kick back and get some well-needed rest because I am tired. Quick room tour before I get into bed. You walk in, a nice little room, nice little bathroom. Things are clean. Yeah, nothing special. It's nice though, like you got your wardrobe here. And then you've got your bed. I'm only here for tonight, and tomorrow I'm heading off to Jaipur. So I am literally just going to be here to sleep. So it's now the following morning. I had a train booked this morning to go to Jaipur, but instead I decided, let me cab it instead because it's so cheap. And from there I'm going to go deeper into Rajasthan. Time to go Jaipur. Just touched down Jaipur, tired as heck, but we move. Quick room tour. As soon as you come in, there's a decent bathroom. Looks very clean to be fair, so. And then a decent spaced room. Can't complain. Can't complain. The exploring begins. As you can see, this ridiculous palace on top of a hill is called Amber Fort or Amber Palace. And this was the capital for the Rajputs from the 11th century all the way up to the 18th century. It was made by Maharaja Man Singh, who was a commander for Akbar the Great. And then someone called Jai Singh, another Maharaja, came later and expanded on it. But genuinely, just have a look. I tried my best to capture all its beauty, but as you know, that's not possible when you're dealing with things of these magnitude. One thing I always go back to when I see things like this, like when I found out this was made in the 1500s. They made something as beautiful as this back then. With all the technology and the resources we have today, it would be an impossible task to make something like this today, let alone all those 100 years ago. But yeah, it's a fortress truly fit for a king. The courtyard is sensational. The inner chambers, superb. Also, as you guys may or may not be aware, Jaipur is known as the Pink City, and nothing encapsulates this more than Hawa Mahal, which is known as the Palace of the Winds. And what I really love about Hawa Mahal is that they blended both Islamic and Hindu architecture to create this masterpiece, because of course this region has been influenced by both frontiers, so I love to see that being reflected in their architecture. I also visited Patrika Gate. Again, it's very pink, but I'm not sure you can tell because I went at night. The lighting definitely made it look more orange, but I can reassure you that it is very pink. Everything is pink in Jaipur. Maharaja Man Singh had Taj Mahal made for him, a floating palace. As you can see, I came here at night, and at night it looks beautiful because the way it's lit up, it truly looks like it's floating, truly fit for a king. After all my sightseeing was done, I tucked into a thali, sensational food, highly recommend, do not regret. Okay, so the day has begun. It is the day for the safari. I pray that I get to see a wild Bengal tiger. It would make my life, honestly, like a huge bucket list item. I wish that I get to see it. But before we do that, I'm gonna quickly go to Taj Mahal, get a quick view of it in daylight. So this is how Taj Mahal looks in the morning. Now we're on our way to Ranthambore to hopefully see some tigers. I can't lie, I'm mad nervous, mad excited. I just hope I get to see a Bengal tiger, man. It would make my trip. That was probably the highlight of my trip. I am astonished by the beauty of the Bengal tiger, subhanAllah. Genuinely, I felt like I morphed back into that 5-year-old version of me where I was obsessed with Bengal tigers. I can't believe I got to see it in real life. SubhanAllah, man. Legit, that's such a big bucket list item ticked off. I'm so happy. I'm grateful, alhamdulillah. See that food I just ate? Cost me less than £2. And that was good food. Like the kebab roll was on point, the malai tikka was good. Bro, £2? Yeah, man. I'm having that every day, bro. Okay, it's time to officially start my tour of Rajasthan. It's not really a tour, I'm just going to 2 places. Well, Jaipur counts Rajasthan, but it's the Golden Triangle. This is like an extended Rajasthan tour. I'm going to Jaisalmer and I'm going to Jodhpur. Jodhpur first. Okay, so I finally checked in, but that was stress because my original tuk-tuk was blocked off. It couldn't make it in, so I had to change. I don't understand a word of, well, I don't speak a word of Hindi, so I can't explain to my driver anything. So he chucked me in another tuk-tuk, basically, a smaller one, and then he forced me in somehow. I'm here now though, so I can't complain. And you know what? I really like this hotel, even though it's in the most busy area, so it's like very narrow roads. Quick room tour. As soon as you step in, you have this lovely bathroom, a messy bed courtesy of me, but very nice, very clean. There were very questionable pictures, paintings of inappropriate things here and here and here, so I decided to take them down and do my own interior decor. Okay, MO for today. I'm going on a walking tour of the city in like an hour. In Jodhpur I had about 24 hours, so I couldn't really do much. I went on a walking tour through the old city with a guide, and as you can see, everything's blue. And there's a reason for that. So Jodhpur is meant to be known as the hottest city in all of India. And the color blue apparently gives the effect of cooling in the heat. And it's also the color of the god. Just look at the view though, you'd think you're in Morocco or Santorini. Not quite. But you get what I'm saying. Seeing as though I won't have the chance to go inside the fort, this is my best exposure to it. The last thing I'd done was I went to a stepwell where the locals come to cool down when the heat gets really intense. So this is tonight's dinner. I accidentally fell asleep for 5 hours. By the time I woke up, all the restaurants were closed, so no food for me. But my hotel were nice enough to make food for me fresh, so alhamdulillah regardless. My driver is here, and now I'm gonna be on my way to Jaisalmer, inshallah. one last cross-country cab drive. Boy, I am tired of these. Like, these have made me so exhausted. Like, I've been getting most of my sleep in these journeys, and it's so horrible for my sleeping pattern. But yeah, inshallah, this is the last one, because from Jaisalmer, I'm gonna catch a plane to New Delhi. Just checked in to my hotel at Jaisalmer. As you walk in, wardrobe, place to put your stuff, clean bathroom, quite modern to be fair, and then quite a big bedroom. Time to go on a desert tour. First stop on this tour, this beautiful oasis. Natural from the monsoon season. Now I'm at an abandoned village, and the fort behind me used to be owned by a Maharaja 100 years ago. The reason why it got abandoned is he wanted to marry one of the village girls, but because she was of lower caste, she couldn't say no. The village had to get her married to the Maharaja, and one of the conditions was that the villagers all migrate elsewhere. So now you just see approximately 84 empty villages all around here. All had to flee because the Maharaja wanted to marry one of their villagers. Crazy. As you can see, it's been completely vacated. So after like an hour camel ride later, it's meant to be like the sunset point. It's just so peaceful. There's no one else here. Literally just me, my camel, and my guide. One thing about sunsets, it always has me thinking about God. Like, it is so beautiful. I just think, wow, this is one of His creations. Subhanallah. You can't even imagine Him, His greatness, His might. Subhanallah. Just look at it. You see this Rajasthani dish? It's called lal mas. Wow, it has blown my mind. It's like butter chicken, but with mutton. But it's spicy. That's all I've ever asked for. So it's officially my last day in Rajasthan. I've got a flight to catch at 5 p.m. to go to New Delhi. So I've got about 5 hours to do some sightseeing. First stop, Gadisar Lake. It's just a very picturesque lake. Gadisar Lake is actually a man-made reservoir. Once upon a time, this was the only place where you could get water from in Jaisalmer. So it's of extreme value to the local community. It is no longer the only water source. However, it is still a lovely place to come and relax and just enjoy the views. Done with the lake, time to go to the fort. Upon entering the fortress, one thing I've realized, it's less of a fortress but more of a town on the hill, and I love it. It's got its own little ecosystem, like it's got its own markets. Yeah, it's a vibe. Got the name of the area, but this little town is proper reminding me of that town in Game of Thrones where Cersei had to, she done her walk of shame. There's little alleyways and then it's just golden and regal. It's like 30 degrees. I climbed a very steep hill for this view. 10 minutes ago I was there in the little fortress, and this is where my Rajasthan trip ends. Time to go back to the hotel and get ready for my flight to Delhi. Just touched down New Delhi. Tomorrow morning a flight to Sylhet. I'm so excited. I might have overslept by like an hour, but thank God I'm like 10 minutes away from the airport. I need to get going. See you at the airport. If I overslept any longer, I would have been looking at a very sticky situation because it's a very long walk to my actual gate. Security took a while as well, but alhamdulillah. Just touched down. I've got 4 hours to kill. My flight is at 2 p.m. It's now 10. But at least I'm at a lounge, so I'm comfortable. There's AC. Alhamdulillah. India was a crazy experience. Both the Golden Triangle and the parts of Rajasthan I explored, all the sights I saw, all the food I ate, all the good people I met. Alhamdulillah, all my blessings. I feel like a lot of people have misconceptions on how India is, especially specifically to do with the treatment of Muslims. And obviously I'm not using this as like a blanket statement to be like, oh, there is no Islamophobia. There is, but that there are a lot of good people out there, a lot of hospitable people, whether it's Muslims or whether it's Hindus, lovely people, all so accommodating, which is why I really hate the narrative of, oh, India's racist or India's Islamophobic. I really dislike them kind of stereotypes, because the good apples do not deserve to be lumped with the bad ones. You shouldn't punish someone for the sins that they haven't committed. Aside from that, food, oh my god, food was amazing. The highlight was the lal mas. It's a Rajasthani dish. It's like butter chicken, but with mutton instead of chicken, and it's spicy. It's sensational. I need to find out when I get back to London. All the sights I saw, the 1,000 forts I saw, Taj Mahal, of course. Taj Mahal is the highlight. Taj Mahal was just simply out of this world. There's a reason why it's one of the world, but tell a lie, it's not the highlight. You know what the highlight was? Seeing a wild Bengal tiger, alive in flesh, natural environment. None of this sterilized nonsense you see in zoos and these tiger kingdoms. None of that. Subhanallah. That is the highlight of my trip, because that's always been a dream of mine. It's from childhood. I've always wanted to see a wild Bengal tiger, and on top of that, I saw it hunted there, which sounds a bit sadistic, but seeing a royal Bengal tiger hunt with my eyes, wild, crazy. I would have been happy with just the tiniest sighting. I was only there for 3 hours. I'm so lucky, and I attribute that to Allah, because I was making dua that I get a sighting, and then Allah gave even more, so subhanAllah. However, getting around India was quite easy, to be fair. Obviously you can get flights from sea to sea, but that's a bit long logistically. What I did is I caught Ubers. You can also catch trains, but I don't know. I prefer having my own space. You save a lot of money on trains, don't get me wrong. It's like £10 a train ticket, and a 5-hour-long Uber costs like £50. When I think about that in terms of Great British pounds and like how it is in London, a £50 Uber would be from like East to West London, and I did like 300 kilometers on the regular. So I was like, you know what, £50, and I have my own comfort. I'm not worried about anything. Everything's with me. I can sleep at the back of the car however I want. You know what, I'll take that. It's worth it. So obviously it depends on how much you value your convenience and comfort. But yeah, all in all, the Golden Triangle, Rajasthan, amazing. I highly recommend it to anyone, and if anyone does have any questions about any of the trips, then just DM me, comment down below, DM me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But I hope you've enjoyed my vlog. I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm in Dhaka now, so I'm going to start my Bangladesh vlog. And one last thing, life's a movie, so don't forget to love and live yours. Take care.